Go ahead, Kaleigh.
All right, thanks. We got a lot to talk about. Well, the Bismarck Bobcats have begun NAHL playoffs against the Brookings Blizzard. The Cats are trying to go for the Robinson Cup, as the last time they won was back in 2010. Well, they played the Blizzard in Game 3 of division semifinals as the Cats fell 2-1. Game 4 will be tomorrow. And while the University of Emery baseball team was on one side of the campus taking on Crookston, the softball team hosted Minnesota Duluth on the other. Bringing you into that game here. There you go. Top of the third we're going to have here. It's going to be Becky Smith. She's going to hit this out to left, which is going to send home Ashley Schilling, and then Natalie Wright. Bulldogs lead 4-0. Hannah Block, she'll hit a grounder out to third as Ashley Lewis scores the 5th run for Minnesota Duluth. And then next up, it's Sammy Schneider as she bunts this with Smith running into home for the Bulldogs. And then next up here is going to be Elena Norman for the Marauders. She's going to hit this one towards third as she'll stay safe on first. The Marauders would fall to the Bulldogs in both games, losing 9-2 and 5-4. And then UND hosted conference rival Weber State, where they split the day, winning the first game 5-3. The Marauders baseball team took on the Golden Eagles and lost 5-3 in the first, followed by another loss. And then DSU Bluehawks hosted the University of Winnipeg as they took both wins for the day. The Bison hosted Western Illinois as they won 12-3. And the UND Fighting Hawks hosted Grand Canyon, beating the Lopes 9-4. On the high school level, Dickinson swept Minot in both games, and then Williston beat St. Mary's in both of their games. Bismarck Demons shut out Jamestown, beating them in both games. And then Century Softball beat Williston in both, as Bismarck was able to beat Belcourt in both of their games today, with Shelby Wittenberg pitching a perfect game. Dickinson swept Legacy in both games with 14 runs in each. And then Jamestown beat Mandan in both of their games 16-11 in the first. For tennis, the Legacy girls lost to Cheyenne 9-0 and then fell to West Fargo 6-3. The Mandan girls shut out West Fargo in their first game 9-0 and then lost to Cheyenne 6-3. And then Century beat Williston 8-1. And then for soccer, Bismarck tied with Jamestown 0-0. On the green for the Dickinson Invitational, Bismarck placed first with an overall score of 316, followed by Minot, Belcourt, Dickinson, Century, and Jamestown. Bismarck's Jordan Ruff was the individual medalist, scoring 75 for the day. For the Charlie Denton relays on the girls' side overall, Century finished with the best score of 162, followed by Bismarck, Watford City, Minot in fourth, Dickinson, and then Jamestown. For the boys overall, Century dominated, coming in first, followed by Bismarck, Minot, Legacy, Fargo South, and Trinity. Now, while we're in the middle of all the playoff madness, only a handful of NBA teams are still competing for a chance to make it to the finals. Tonight, for Game 3 in the East, the Cavs beat the Pistons 101-91 as they lead the series 3-0. The Celtics beat the Hawks 111-103 with Isaiah Thomas scoring 42 points. And the Spurs are taking on the Grizzlies as this game is still in progress. Over on the ice, NHL teams are fighting in playoffs to go for the Stanley Cup. And while the 2015 champs aren't playing tonight, other contenders are. The Flyers were in Washington to take on the Capitals as they shut them out 2-0, forcing a Game 6 of the series. And then the Panthers and the Islanders took on this game into overtime, where the score is still 1-1 last time I checked. Minnesota Wild have taken this series with the Stars into Game 5 as this game's still in progress. And then LA and San Jose are battling it out as this game just started. And then the Twins, they were in Washington, where they couldn't quite get past the Nationals, losing 8-4. Wow. Oh, what a mouthful.
Give you a high five on that one. Way to report those scores and updates.
So many scores.
Thank you, Kaleigh.